Well, one name you called out a little while ago was Vince McMahon, and he's in the news once again.
Well, and yes, and you tell me now, because I understand there was a report that came in as we were about to record here today that has a few more details. But from what we're hearing now, Vince is this a recent thing? Do we know when did this elapse? But Vince has been asked to step aside from creative in favor of Triple H and concentrate on business, but staying away from, again, creative and the interference that he's done in the past in television or talent or whatever. And it looks like it's working on TV. Is it working with Vince?
I have an article here from SI.com by Justin Barrasso, where fluffy stories go to float. Triple H and Vince McMahon have more defined roles in WWE. Per Endeavor CEO Ari Emanuel, Paul Triple H Levesque is in full control of WWE creative. And let me go down a little bit here. Paul Levesque in full control of WWE creative. When WWE merged with Endeavor last month, Paul Triple H Levesque did not receive a seat on the board of directors, a position he had held prior in WWE. Yet that has not represented a loss of power. In fact, the opposite has occurred. If you have noticed a change in WWE programming, you are not alone. Levesque, who is WWE's head of creative, has overseen all of the creative on SmackDown and Raw since the merger, which is precisely what his job description entails. The difference is that Vince McMahon, who is synonymous with all things WWE, is no longer directly involved in dictating that weekly creative in the same manner he once did. McMahon remained the title of executive chairman in WWE, but he no longer possesses majority control of the company. That has allowed for a change in the new regime, particularly in the creative department. Multiple contacts within the WWE and UFC have confirmed that Ari Emanuel, who wields power as the Endeavor CEO, is behind the change. Emanuel has long been a firm believer that in order for an organization to be as effective as possible, people need to do the job they are assigned. In this case, the approach has empowered Levesque to exert full influence in the company's creative sphere. Not all is lost for McMahon. As executive chairman, his focus is elsewhere, particularly in overseeing a lucrative new media rights deal for Raw and the NXT brand. But it is a fascinating time for McMahon. No longer the be-all, end-all of WWE, McMahon possesses an ironclad contract that protects him financially, yet not politically. Will he view this as a loss of leverage? His response will be a very telling action. And there's the article. Per Ari Emanuel, Vince McMahon, nothing to do with creative, Triple H in charge. The TV has been better. The angles have been better.
Well, and that also may give us on our previous topic some frame of reference, since that means that if Punk has been discussing anything with him lately, it would probably be Triple H that would be involved, because he, being the head of creative, is there lingering heat there, we wonder?
And could you use that? I mean, if there was or wasn't, could you use that? And all of a sudden on these shows, these general managers have to say that Ari Emanuel, the head of the company, has signed CM Punk, and now Triple H has to deal with him. I mean, there are ways
that would be brilliant.
You could incorporate so much of this into the show because people would be intrigued enough to want to see the dynamics between these people.
Yeah, that would be brilliant, and it would give the people their look behind the curtain without really exposing anything that they didn't kind of already know anyway. And you could actually work things off of that would be, but nevertheless, we may be doing their job for them, but if obviously they're on a roll creatively if Vince is out of that department, because Vince's whims, as we know, can come at the last minute, or he can tear shit up and start over because of something that doesn't sit right with him. And we've seen it happen millions of times. Now they have been on a great run. Is it just because Vince had just it was too spread too thin, had lost some of his mental acuity or whatever, that it was all over the place, and now it is coherent, at least with the story they're trying to tell from start to finish without being interrupted? So that's helped, and they've gotten some talent over, and we'll find out over the long run whether Triple H is an Eddie Graham level genius, or whether he just leveled everything out to where it made sense long enough that some people got over. But I think as long as the media rights thing is still going on, Vince wanted that sale. He wants increases in all of the rights. He wants money, money, money.
Yeah. Did Vince Ted Turner himself?
Well, but not yet. See, here's what I'm saying right now. I don't think it's going to stress Vince not being involved in creative when the ratings are good. These negotiations are going on that keeps him busy. Yeah, he might see something on one of the programs and go, what's he doing? But yeah, Paul, he's a son of, right now, because he still wants to get hundreds of millions of dollars more for the next rights deal and all this other stuff. And they're hot-shotting that. But over the long run, once he makes all these deals and once he makes all these hundreds of millions of dollars more off the billions he just got, and he has time on his hands, and he's sitting watching that show, and he's like, goddamn Gargano.
Yeah, see, that's
whatever.
the thing. That's the thing right there. He didn't want to let go the last time they tried to force him to let go. So this time he was able to force his way back in and get this sale and get all this money and get stock that he could sell. But there's no way he doesn't want to actively be involved and dictate to people what they should do. And, when you think about what Triple H, now we find out, has done in the last few months, think about little things like Chad Gable going from being a complete comedy character to slowly morphing into here's him and his family in a serious thing with Gunther.
Yeah.
But you used to think Vince could let go of this? Or is he going to fight back or try to fight back?
No, that's what I'm saying. Right now, everybody can breathe, keep an eye out. Sooner or later, if he doesn't have more pressing matters and he's going to start looking at the show, and then he's going to, I'm not saying it'll be all out war with, Triple H to where they can't come to Christmas dinner, but frustrated Vince or grumpy Vince, because I've said before, whatever the topic is, he believes he sees things that other people don't, or he has the grip on it and other people don't. And a lot of times he's been right. But the times he's been wrong, we just don't talk about and move on. If you're part of the evil empire, that is. So eventually he's going to want to stick a stick in that and stir it around somewhere. And that could probably be interesting. But if I was there, I'd keep him busy. Keep him very busy.
That's what got him in trouble the last time.
Well, no, I mean, idle hands are the devil's workshop. So keep him busy on work, on his business. And then but at some point they're going to hear the announcement, the cake is in the oven.
By the way, what the hell's he doing with the rights deal? He doesn't own the company anymore. He's just the chairman role, but it's really a non-active role. Who do you want negotiating? An agent like Nick Khan or any of the other people that Ari Emanuel is working for him, or Vince McMahon? Who's going to get the best deal there?
He's going to be thinking about it, and he's going to be involved in it, and he's going to be telling him what he thinks, and he's going to be sitting in on some of it.
What network
and
wants that?
A good thing. It's a good thing because a lot of these people still see Vince McMahon as he created himself, the Walt Disney of wrestling. If you've got a network person and who doesn't read the goddamn daily wrestling websites, and there's Vince McMahon
there's
and
Uncle
one
Creepy. Uncle Creepy walks in with his fucking weird Clark Gable face.
He does. He looks like Clark Gable's fucking Madame Tussauds figure is what he looks like.
After a night in the heat. Yeah.
Yes. He's slightly melting like Vincent Price in House of Wax. But that means something to the network people, to have the big agent and the big, wrestling impresario And so, yeah, they'll keep him busy.
Triple H is the ultimate survivor. Do you think when Vince is pushed out completely, he'll divorce Stephanie?
Oh, come on. How dare you think that
I'm kind
the
of
man
not
would
kidding.
be as transactional as all that? I think he would. The first thing he'd do is draw up a contract for ownership of the children. And then he would worry about his relationship. No, I'm sure they're perfectly happy. But you never know, Brian. You never know. You could be a billionaire one day ruling of an industry like a monopoly with an iron fist, and the next day you're just an employee that can be taken off the goddamn job, removed to another department, reassigned, turned out in the street. You never know what could happen. You don't control your own destiny, Brian, anymore. In this uncertain modern world, you do not control your own destiny. You're just a pawn in the game. And you know what? I'll tell you, frankly, I think the only thing that we can do now to assure the future of ourselves and our families and our children and our descendants after the nuclear apocalypse, start hoarding precious metals. Have you got a hoard?
I don't know where you're going or where you're coming from, quite frankly, but I don't know if we're worrying about nuclear apocalypse right now. And
well, you may not be worried about it up there in New Jersey because you get bigger problems. Up there in New Jersey with all of the shit you got going on and the delis, whether they're kosher or non-kosher. But I'm worried down here in the American South because the world is uncertain and you can be terminated from your job or the market can go up and down. I was just over there at Kroger, the supermarket, and it was going up and down. They were raising it and moving it to another location because the people around here have lost all their money and can't afford to shop there anymore. It's all uncertain. But if you're looking, folks, for the secret to wealth preservation, then you can look no further now than nationwide coins. Because if you're concerned about uncertain times we're living in or looking to protect your financial future, then you can look no further. I think I said that. Don't look anymore. Take your glasses off. You found it. Nationwide coins. Wait. Everybody's worried.
What is happening over there?
Everybody is worried. You got the debt ceiling, the government instability, the up and down stock market. I'm telling you, dig a hole in the backyard, folks. Transfer everything into gold, silver, precious metals. We're talking platinum, titanium, uranium, all that kind of, I mean, it sounds like the lyrics of a Supertramp song. But it's logical, folks, that you would want to hoard precious metals in order to indemnify yourself, because it's always going to be good. This paper money with the pictures of our presidents on it, well, that's going to go away someday. That's going to be out of fashion.
Let's not make any declarations about currency.
Well, let me ask you, what happened to the ancient Greeks' currency? Is that still spendable?
I mean, it's worth a lot of money if you have any of it.
It's worth a lot of money if you got it. Are they making any more of it?
Well, no.
No, because it went out of style. It went out of fashion. These governments, they're not going to last that long. I mean, look at what's already happened to ours, and you never know. But it could be 200 years, 500 years. In the overall scheme of things, don't end up like the ancient Greeks. The richest Greek son of a bitch that ever lived, if he had all of his money right now, well, he'd have a fortune because those would be Greek coins that were valuable, but you couldn't spend them. Just as you couldn't take a Greek coin over to Walmart and buy a bookcase with it. There's got to be a middleman there, and they're going to take out a big percentage. So what do you need to stick to the precious metals, because as the governments come and go, the bonds, look at Confederate money.
Are you going anywhere with all this?
I'm going somewhere. Confederate money, is that any good right now?
No.
Well, there you go. Well, they didn't make it out of gold. That's the problem. Because our friends at Nationwide Coins sell government gold at cost. And that way you can keep the precious metals that they were worth something back in the Greek times. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And if you want to hoard myrrh, then get with me after the show. But it was worth something in the ancient Greek times, and it's still worth something today. And they sell, as I mentioned, they being Nationwide Coins, sell government gold at cost. What government, you ask? The government. It's certified. And all new customers get their first ounce of gold without any dealer markup whatsoever. Nationwide Coins has precious metal consultants on staff that you can call on the phone and speak to help guide you to the right gold purchase for whatever your unique situation may be. But they're one of the nation's leading precious metals firms with over 100 years of combined experience in the precious metals industry. 3 guys, they're really old. They've got beards down to their crotches, and together they've seen it all. And they're the exclusive supplier of Don Everhart's signature coins. So after he broke up with his brother Phil, after all those hits, Don Everhart became the U.S. Mint's leading sculptor from 2004 to 2017. And he was able to get out of there with a bunch of stuff in his suitcase. And he brought a bunch of ideas with him, too. And they're just going crazy over there. Did you ever see that movie, Brian, how when they broke into the mint and they actually stole the pressing things, the dies that make the coins? Well, old Don, his briefcase weighed about 100 pounds when he got out of there. And this stuff is beautiful. They sent me a coin. The beautiful gold coin, the Standing Liberty on the front. It's a modern design with a classic homage to the coins of days gone by.
It's a beautiful coin. I have it here on my desk. I let the kids look at it.
You stole my coin?
I have my own. They sent me one too. I didn't steal from you. Get out of
here. Hold on. I'm checking to make sure mine's over here. All right. You're safe for right now. It's in a beautiful little display holder right over here on my trophy case. And again, they're just waiting to send you one. They've got an A+ Better Business Bureau rating and a 4.6 out of a 5 on Trustpilot. So all the airlines are in favor of these people as well at Nationwide Coins. But and they're free shipping and insurance on all orders. You don't want gold just floating around out there uninsured. So, folks, again, if you've been thinking about exploring gold, hoarding precious metals in your home, in a hole in the backyard, possibly dig something underneath your house and make a concrete bunker, put as much gold down there as possible, and in bags, sturdy bags. So when the looters come after the apocalypse, you can wave this gold over your head and trounce them on the head with it, creating massive hematomas on the looters. Go right now to nationwidecoins.com/JCE and use the promo code JCE at checkout for your first 1-ounce gold coin without any dealer markup. It will not be marked up by a dealer in any way. There'll be no teeth marks on this gold coin. They've been tested. They don't use the bite method anymore on the gold coins, Brian. Were you aware of this?
They do not. Nationwide Coins is certainly not using the bite method on any of these fine coins that they're going to be distributing to the fine people who purchase these coins.
Yes. Well, Underdog used to check. He was humble and lovable, though. But you don't need to bite these gold coins. You know what I'm talking. You always would bite a gold coin to make sure it was real. Because back in the days of the Old West, people would pass out counterfeit type of coins, and you'd have to bite on it.
What was inside?
Make
chocolate?
Sure it was correct. And it was part of the lint people. They would mark it. That was John Fell came up with that idea: make fake gold coins with chocolate.
Well, no, John Fell was the whistleblower. He didn't do anything bad.
No, he came up with a great idea, and then they stole it, and then they fired him to get even, to get him out of there, so that they could steal all his money.
Well, Jim, let's get back to Nationwide Coins.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just shine a light on the wall. Nationwidecoins.com/JCE. Use the promo code JCE at checkout for your first 1-ounce gold coin without any dealer markup. Precious metals are always going to be worth something. That's why they're precious and metal.
That's right. Nationwide Coins. Once again, what's that promo code, Jim?
I just said it. JCE. Nationwidecoins.com/JCE. Use the promo code JCE at checkout. That's a good thing to remember all the time is JCE.
Now let us know what you get. Let's see some pictures. I want to see what else other people got. I want to make sure I got the best stuff.
I'd like to see some candid photography.
Of people's coins from Nationwide Coins.
Yeah, send me a picture of your money pot there.